Now let me talk about the hedging using the futures. Now, why? First, let me talk about who hedgers are actually. They are the ones who are facing the risk of either the price rise or the price fall, and thus want to reduce down this risk of the price rise and the price fall. Uh, and now, the basic principle of hedging, of reducing the risk, I can say, is to take is to take a position in futures in such a way that reduces the level of risk. Now, the basic principle for the hedging is that we have to take a position, whether a long or a short position, in a future contract in such a way that will help us to reduce down the or in itself we can say neutralize the risk. So, or we can or to neutralize the risk. Now, on the basis of this, we can either have the short hedge or we can have the long hedge. Now, short hedge involves taking the short position in future contract, and the long hedge involves taking the long position in the future contract. Now, uh, uh, let me talk about the appropriation. When do we actually prefer to use the short hedge? It is appropriate when I own an asset and expect to it sell it after some time. So I'm definitely in this case worried about the fall in the price. This short hedge is used in the sense when I own an asset, or I want to buy an asset in the future so that I can sell that at a future period of time. In this case, the short hedge is preferred because I am expecting the price to fall. Now, in case of a long hedge, the long hedge is preferred when you have to buy the asset. Now, as in now I have to buy the asset in near future, it means that if there is a rise in the price, I have to pay more for that asset. So in this case, I will be worried about the price rise. So the long hedge is done because he's worried about the price rise, and the short hedge is done because he's worried about the price fall. Now let me talk about the arguments in and against now let me talk about arguments for and against hedging. Now, firstly, let me consider a favorable argument, that is that why should an organization prefer the hedging? Now, an organization should prefer hedging because they want to reduce down the risks that arise from different causes like the interest rate risk, the exchange rate risk, or some other risk. So if an organization has already hedged these types of these different the different types of the risk, which means they can now concentrate on their main activities. So in this sense, it gives them a free room to concentrate on the free room to concentrate on the main activities in the sense are the actual operations of the business, so they don't need to worry about all the risks that a business is facing. In this sense, it is favorable for an organization to do the hedging. Now the opposite scenario is that the opposite scenario is that if hedging is not a norm in the industry, if hedging is not the norm in the industry in the industry now what if the different firms in the industry are not hedging their risks? So in this sense, how they would actually will be dealing with the different types of the risks? So definitely they will be dealing with the price rise. Now if there is some kind of uncertainty that is resulting in the increase in the costs, so and no firm in the industry is running actually is doing the hedging, so all of them will be doing the price rise. So in this case, hedging should not be preferred. And why? The reason for that is that hedging should not be preferred. Now, suppose an organization hedges the risks by the price risk, or the price fall risk, or the it rises the price rise risk. In this sense, they have fixed a particular price at which they are going to sell. Now, if the other firms in the industry are going to sell at a higher price because they are not hedging and they are expecting the price rise, or they are doing the rise in the price, while this firm has hedged the risk and is now selling at a fixed price. In this sense, this firm will not be earning higher profits. They will be earning lower profits as compared to these firms who are gaining higher profits on the rise in the price, while as this firm is now forced to face at the to sell at the fixed price because they have already hedged the risk. So if the hedging is not a norm in the industry, in such cases the firm should not go for the hedging. Rather than they should stick to the industry norms of if they are doing the price rise, if in case of any kind of a risk.